Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Elite Racing Network, where tonight we take on the Sonoma Raceway for the Sonoma 110. Brand new track to the service as far as the rescan goes. These guys should have more grip, but from what I'm hearing, it's not a lot to be had out there tonight. Joining me in the booth tonight, as always, is James Watson. We have David Huckleberry over there to produce, and William White is out here for race control, hoping for a slow night tonight. Is William. Guys, what do you think we're going to see tonight, and how much is Ethan Stanley going to win by?
Well, I think it's probably going to be a decent amount knowing Ethan Stanley and his prowess on the road courses. It's definitely going to be interesting seeing everyone tackle the new scan for the first time. And I'm just absolutely excited for this one. This, of course, is the motherland to me. I spent most of my formative years here, so anytime there's something going on at this track, real or virtual, I'm always excited. So just can't wait to get this one started and see if anyone can give the 91 any sort of hard time, challenge, what have you.
And what about you, Dave? What do you think we're going to see out here tonight?
Well, I
guess
think
we got one stage caution.
we're fortunate enough to have one of the people that does challenge you. RC are really tight qualifying, so both of them can be consistent with their laps. I'm hoping for that.
Yeah, it will be a lot of fun. RC's a guy we haven't seen out here for, has he been in any Elite Series here recently?
It's been a minute.
Oh, a couple of.
So it might be kind of, he's still fast. You know, you're never going to lose that one lap speed, but we will have to see if he could hold on over the course of a long run and over the course of wearing out these tires and see if he can keep up with Ethan. It should be fun. We're always game for somebody to try to keep up with Ethan Stanley because we don't see it often. We have seen Tyler Fody get better at these road courses. Chad Frankenfield's always been right there, real close. So we shall see how it goes tonight and see who can give him a run for his money. As Stanley and RC are the only two guys to break the 16-second bracket, and that's a 16.6 to a 16.7. Tyler Fody qualifies third at a 17.2. We're talking a half a second, and if that tells me anything, that tells me this might be a two-car race. And how long can RC hold on is what I'm looking at.
Yep. Better than it being a one-car race.
Yeah, and then right in there, we got Gavin Hibbs, Jonathan Cutlip, mentioned Chad Frankenfield, David Tooker, Brandon Wilkinson, Scott Crump, Tate Lytle rounding out the top 10, Seth Rawls, Trey Eidson, Paul Mikolajczyk, Tommy Ryan, Thomas Coonan. I mean, looking back through the field, some of our guys that we have grown accustomed to seeing are going to struggle tonight. Blake Reynolds didn't get a lap, so winning from last is going to be pretty hard.
Yeah, but
Tyler Pop back there at 19. So we're gonna. I believe we have one stage caution, correct, guys?
Correct.
Lap 12.
So and then it's on the shoulders of William White, right? Like is William going to throw those cautions?
Hopefully. But yeah, it's definitely going to be fascinating watching those two try to make their way up the field, especially Blake. This place isn't the easiest to pass at. You know, that's the one knock people have on it, and the main reason why IndyCar doesn't even come here anymore, because it's hard to get the passes done. You really only have going down into turn 7A and then down into 11 for the main passing area is the easiest one. You know, you can maybe go into the entry of the chute, maybe up into turn 1 and 2 as well, but Yeah, there's a lot of low percentage areas if you try to pass anywhere else. I've been dumped in the middle of the S's myself, and it was yeah.
Well, and this has always been my favorite road course to watch, and I really enjoy running around here. This has always been, I always felt like you mentioned, this isn't a great place for IndyCar, but I feel like some of NASCAR's best road races have been here at Sonoma. And I will throw this out there. I might be a little biased. Jeff Gordon was my favorite driver, always will be my favorite driver, but I felt like this place raced a lot like a short track that's a road course. There was a lot of beating and banging, in those stock cars back then when they could pass, not so much these next gen cars that are just completely awful that we see on Sundays now. So these cars always had a lot of contact out here when the stock cars came out, and lots of frustrated people. Felt like a short track when you left here.
Absolutely, you had to use the bumper because wasn't really much of a opportunity to set up the pass otherwise, and gave us some iconic moments. Never forget 2016 when Tony laid the bumper to Denny in turn 11 to get the last win of his career. And one of my coolest moments actually being there to witness that.
Oh, I'm sure that was a great time, exciting time, all the way down to the last lap. Will we see the same today? We're about to find out. Ethan Stanley's got control. They bring it out of turn 11. You see the wall there, no longer the tires. So these guys got a wall down there as they head for the start-finish line. And green flag is out from Sonoma. Ethan Stanley's going to get just about clear. Guys really running out there towards the grass. Using a lot of racetrack. So far, so good. Up the hill, nobody's going to do a Jerry Nadeau and drive through the grass. Oh, Scott Crump's over through the grass on the curb. I thought he was about to take out David Tooker, but they all get checked up, gather it up.
Yeah, thankfully he still kept it enough on the track to give him enough to still drive the car. But yeah, that got a little sketchy. But oh, here we go, 3 wide. It begins, everybody. Tyler Popp trying to make his way. Oh, and around goes Cale Polk. Oh, he saved it. Wow, what a save
That's all
by
paved
Cale.
now. Great job, Cale. All pavement over there.
Oh no, and he's taking the grass line through the beginning of the S's.
You got Mark there behind him running through the grass. Of course, series sponsor Mark back there trying to get some good pictures. Hopefully, you got a good picture of Cale there when he was sideways.
Definitely one heck of an area to get pictures at. It's hard trying to figure out what you want to take pictures of the cars or the beautiful scenery around with our dead, miscolored grass because we can't water it because we're in a drought 9 months out of the year.
I know. I've always wondered why they don't come here in like March when the grass is green and it looks great.
I know, right? The 2 weeks of the year that we actually have green grass.
And it makes a lot of sense. That's when they have that West Coast swing. Like, just add Sonoma over there to the West Coast swing. Run it early in the year. I think they always ran Riverside at like race number 2 or 3, didn't they? So
yeah, like all the way back in January most times.
But nonetheless, I do have a question for you, James. I don't know if you've turned any laps around here, but that turn 11 change there from the tires to the wall, does that change anything for you, or does it just look different? You get used to it, you run through the same, or how's that work down there?
Well, to me, I have to kind of learn a different braking marker because I think I was using the cones that were on the inside as my braking markers, but those, of course, are not there anymore. So I need to figure something else out. But to me, it does kind of make the corner itself a little easier in the sense that, it was always kind of nerve-wracking going on the curb on the inside and getting so close to the tire stacks because the tire stacks move in real life. they don't move on the sim. So if you hit those, yeah. So it was always a bit nerve-wracking because you're never entirely sure if you're good to avoid hitting them, or if you think, oh, I'm fine, and then you clip them, and yeah, your car's insta-killed. But with the wall, you don't have to worry about that. If you turn a little too much to the inside, oh no, you scrape the paint off the horror. So it's not going to cost you a whole lot, and it just makes the corner a little easier to get through, which is nice because this is arguably the hardest corner on the track, just because it's the biggest braking zone, and if you airmail it, you're going straight into the pit wall essentially. So
Yeah, and like you said, those tires moved. Now, I do remember a couple years ago when the cones started to be able to be moved, that I always heard, they were always talking about wanting to get those tire stacks to the point where we can move them as we hit them. Never did happen, and now we've got that wall there, so. Oh, we got Michael Goodman down here in turn 11. Oh, a little bit deep.
Oh, goody. Hey, you didn't hit anything.
That was a good call, because if he let off the brake, he was going to hit the guy in front of him, and he's going to make somebody mad.
Yeah, that worked out for him. Yeah, the tires are cooked, but he didn't hit anything, and he's only got to go another, 8 laps or so before stage caution, so good job by Goody.
Yeah, that's the way to do it over there in that Mrs. Goodies machine. Because I would imagine it's going to be hard to spin out there and not hit something the way he just did with the wall on the other side now.
Yeah.
No change up front. We still have Stanley, RC Fody, Gavin Hibbs, Chad Frankenfield, and I think Stanley's just toying with these guys a little bit right now.
Yeah, I'm hoping that we end up getting a Zilich SVD style duel here, like we got in the real life race here a few months ago.
So these guys are going to pit probably on lap 12. What's the scenario here? Are they going to be able to go to the end of the race from there? Are they going to have to stop again?
So we did get some reports that stretching the fuel all the way out from the end of the stage when we go back green to the end of the race is possible. So we don't know for sure, obviously, but that's going to be an interesting one if someone can, in fact, make it.
Now, when you say is possible, are we talking saving 5 laps of fuel, 2 laps of fuel? Like, there's a big difference there. Like, or are you unsure?
We were given no information more than what I just shared, so
It's say make full on save.
So it sounds like Ethan Stanley's probably the only guy who's going to be able to make a save and keep pace.
Yeah, probably.
But we'll see. Maybe some people commit to a 2 strategy, and we'll see a lot of guys pit before the pits get closed. And maybe that'll be our best shot at seeing Ethan Stanley have to work some traffic.
Yeah, maybe. Hopefully.
Everybody is spread.
And like Dave just said, everybody's strung out, spread out, running all over this racetrack. And I mean, it's 10 seconds is already 7.5 seconds back, or 10th place is already 7.5 seconds back. 6 seconds to 8th.
Meanwhile, there's a send from Blake to move up another spot.
Up 18 spots from.
Well, and we did talk about that, or I did in the pre-race just a little bit. How Blake did not get a lap, and I think he's got good pace. He'll probably get to the top 7 or 8, but it's going to be hard to have a shot to win the race starting in the back like that. He'll need William to have to throw some yellows. That's what he's going to need if he's going to have a shot to win this race.
And a yellow is possible here. If we get a bit of a dust up here on the main straightaway or going into turn 11, a track blocker can happen because of it. So it's not impossible here.
Yeah, but I think the chances dwindle with every lap that passes, and we've got that stage caution coming up. I think if we start the race from that stage caution and it goes as far as this has went, we probably will not see any reason for a yellow at that point. So these guys are going to have it quick. They're going to have to be really impatient on that next restart, or he'll just have to do it on pace.
Get out of here with your facts and logic. We don't do that here. Let me dream.
Hey, there's a chance. Oh, the one car's around. That's up at the top of the hill, I believe. Gets turned, clips the curb, puts the power down, and the car says, yeah, I don't want the power.
Yeah, the curb there at 7A on the inside, you see, it's up there pretty high. It's one of the highest curbs you'll come across on iRacing, and it's really fun, and it's cool when you see the cars hitting them, but you do have to be careful because it can upset the car fairly easily, and unfortunately we saw that happen to Jaden Rasimus.
Yeah, and the big thing about the curbs is if you're going to hit them, you want to know you're going to hit them, and you'll be able to, you know what I mean? It's not going to surprise you. But it looked to me like Harry was not expecting to hit the curb. He wasn't driving down in there expecting to hit the curb, and so when you hit that curb and you're not expecting to hit that curb, it really throws you because it really upsets the car.
Yeah, because you already have your throttle input tuned to not hitting it, so when you do hit it, you have it at something that the car just can't handle with all the different gravity forces messing with it, and whoop, around you go.
But so far, I think these guys have done a very great job. We've seen a few spins here and there, but we haven't seen anybody really get used up. We've seen a lot of guys taking care of each other, and very clean, very formal. We'll have to see if that can continue, as I believe Gavin Hibbs and Chad Frankenfield were staying pretty close to that front group, and they've started to fall off. Tyler Fode's starting to fall off, so Stanley and RC have they're kind of stretching it out now amongst themselves. There's no longer quite the line of traffic behind them.
Yeah, and it makes sense because this track is a lot more. You're racing the racetrack more than anything, just because it's so easy to put a wheel wrong here compared to say Watkins Glen, which is a lot more straightforward, a lot less kind of crazy corner types as opposed to here where you got different curbs, a whole mess of elevation change, a lot of sections where you're having to just focus on driving in a rhythm. So you're just kind of focus on making sure you're not making that crucial mistake here is, oh wow, side by side through turn 10. You don't see that here all that often.
And here we go. We got our first flipper of the stage right there. Is that Jacob Adams?
Yes.
So he's going to flip the stage. He's going to stay out and make this a two-stop race. But like you were talking about there, Watkins Glen, it used to not be very forgiving. They used to have those big dirt traps in all the corners, and if you went off the course a little bit at Watkins Glen, you were stuck, and you had to get a tow out. But now they've went in and reworked Watkins Glen, and it's probably one of the most forgiving road courses maybe in the world as far as all the runoff you got, because NASCAR, I believe, is the only series that allows their drivers and teams to use the runoff, so everybody else has to stay on the racetrack and on what they deem as the racetrack. But if there's a mistake or something happens, there's all kinds of room everywhere now at Watkins Glen.
Yeah, and then you look here, and there is very little room, even with all the safety advancements they've added to the track. There's still not a whole lot. Like here, you can clip the wall on the inside easy. If you airmail the braking zone up here, there's a good chance that you'll just slide off into the wall. There's still plenty of avenues where you can make a mistake that just ends with you completely demolishing your car. So just having to focus on just keeping the car on the track, and whatever happens after that.
And just to bring everybody up to speed, we have some cars on pit road. Hibbs is on pit road. Seth Rawls is on pit road. Jonathan Cutler. We got a lot of guys who are going to commit to this 2-stop. Jacob Adams blended back right out and not too far in front of Ethan Stanley, so he's got to run relatively hard to stay in front of Stanley. He can't just creep around here and be able to stay in front of him. So it's going to be quite the race amongst these two, because Stanley knows that's a car that's probably going to restart in front of him if he doesn't catch him. So it will be very interesting with one lap left in the stage, how this plays out. He might be out there far enough. It'll be close.
Yeah, and you look at the timing tower, he's even just cruising how he has been, he's put about 2.5 seconds over RC Enerson. So even over someone as talented as RC, Stanley's just making it look easy.
But the most important thing is we know that based on what we've seen here, Stanley's going to have to restart in some traffic. And it'll probably be the only time tonight he'll have to work any kind of traffic. And so we'll get to see him make some passes and have to pass some cars. He won't lead every lap.
He'll be behind 5 cars. That's in Market and
Oof.
Now, you say, oof. He might say, that did me a favor.
he parked it on lap 4, so I think he's long gone.
And the caution is out for the end of the stage. So it will be Ethan Stanley winning the stage over RC, Tyler Fody, Chad Frankenfield, David Tooker, Tate Lytle, Brandon Wilkinson, Scott Crump, Trey Eitzen, I believe, and Tommy Ryan will get the last stage point. So what we're going to do, because this caution's going to take a little while, we're not going to make you watch as they catch the field, and the pits probably won't open next time. So we're going to get in a commercial break right here, and we will see you on the other side of this break and on the other side of pit stops.
This weekend at the Napa Auto Parts NHLA Midwest Nationals. Get tickets at WWTRaceway.com for the Napa Auto Parts.
Experienced drivers that can navigate the competitive track to connecting with your customers. With Blue Egg, you're always in the pole position, leading your brand toward victory lane. Don't spin your wheels, accelerate success with Blue Egg, fueling small businesses to win big.
This weekend at the Napa Auto Parts NHRA Midwest Nationals. Get tickets at WWTRaceway.com for the Napa Auto Parts NHRA Midwest Nationals this weekend.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Champions, forged by the pressure of the countdown, will rise. It's where ambition meets asphalt, where some dreams are made and others go up in smoke. With only 4 races to go, the gateway to the West could be the way to win it all. This weekend, the Napa Auto Parts NHRA Midwest Nationals roar at Worldwide Technology Raceway. Get tickets today at WWTRaceway.com and be a part of the NHRA countdown to the championship this weekend. Numbers don't lie.
He goes 360, 4.7, and 338.
In our numbers, they get insane.
341.
And then this happens.
343 miles an hour. Holy Christmas.
This isn't a game. This is racing at its extremes. See for yourself at the Napa Auto Parts NHRA Midwest Nationals at Worldwide Technology Raceway this weekend. Get tickets at WWTRaceway.com.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Now let's hear about Blue Egg Marketing. Rev up your business with Blue Egg, your marketing picker. Turbocharge your lead generation with experienced drivers that can navigate the competitive track to connecting with your customers. With Blue Egg, you're always in the pole position, leading your brand toward victory lane. Don't spin your wheels, accelerate success with Blue Egg, fueling small businesses to win big.
And welcome back as we double up here. 1 to go before the restart. And we got a new leader. Gavin Hibbs is out front, chose to short pit the stage. Jonathan Cutlip did the same. Seth Rawls, Jacob Adams are the 4 guys who flipped the stage, tried to get some track position. It's going to move Stanley to 5th, RC to 6th, Fody, Frankenfield, Tooker, and Lytle. Now, James, it's going to take some patience here on these guys. You know, like Ethan Stanley, they know they're the fastest cars. But if they try to pass everybody in the first lap, you can get in trouble. So it's going to take a little bit of patience and a little bit of using your head not to try to put a bad spot on somebody. At the same time, you don't want to give up a spot to RC or to Fody. And it's going to be a lot of fun for us, I think.
Absolutely. It's going to take that great balance of patience and aggression. So I think, like you said, it's going to be based off of how RC and Fody decide to play this. Stanley will probably have to match whatever energy they're giving to this race and how hard they push, because like you said, letting them by isn't going to be all that ideal.
And you know what's going to be fun? I mean, you mentioned a couple guys there, but you know who's probably going to push everybody to go harder than they want to go through this traffic is Chad Frankenfield, because he's going to see an opportunity to get in front of guys on equal tires, and it is going to be a ton of fun. Patiently aggressive, and one of those words I just said is not in Chad's vocabulary. Gavin has picked the right side to take off here in the lead. Or the left side, excuse me. Sorry. Pace car will pull off. It's going to put the field in control for Gavin. Here they come down to get the green flag. Good jump there for Gavin. A little stack up, though.
Oh, we were nearly 3 wide.
Stanley's trying to push in there 3 wide, and you don't want to get yourself in trouble. Oh, we got one off. One guy did pull a Jerry Nadeau there. And they got Jacob Adams in the middle 3 wide, and that's going to get RC clipped, and Chad's around. We're still green.
He got straightened out by Tooker. Meanwhile, RC had to take.
Oh, and Chad's going to go through the middle 4 wide. Now it's 3 wide.
Ay, Dios mío, that was very nearly very bad.
Yeah, that was just those guys. They put some of those guys that stayed, that flipped the stage. I almost said stayed out, but they flipped the stage. You put them in the middle 3. Scott Crump's around in the S.
Oh, yeah.
Just one car. He's going to get it back straight. He's going to be good. Oh, Josh Adams is around. The 7's around. I think Josh got clipped there by the 7.
Damn, I couldn't even watch the replay because there's so much stuff going on.
Yeah, Kale said he did not see the 90 there. Clip Josh. Tell you what, boys, a whole lot of stuff just happened here in the first half.
It sure as heck did. Boy, howdy.
And there's... Yeah, there's Chad's not happy as he's now going to pass Jacob Adams, who chose to flip that stage. Well, try to pass Jacob Adams. And that's just what we talked about. You got to be patient. You can't be aggressive. And I believe if race control called it out correct over there, and Williams here. He said Tooker made it 3 wide, put Jacob in a bad spot. He really put Jake in a bad spot, and Chad paid the price because there was nowhere for Jake to go. There's really nowhere for Chad to go. And I believe RC also got clipped over there in that mess as well. And I hear Chad talking about a pit stop.
Yeah, well, I think we all knew he wasn't going to be on the fuel save train. We replay with Tyler Popp and Leighton Norgard, and oh no! Oh
man, I think I've seen that work in NASCAR heat. I think that's what he was going for. Wide open out there against the tires, and it'll be all right.
And yeah, that ended up with some fairly significant damage on the 13 car. We saw a lot, especially to that left rear quarter panel.
Yeah, and remember how we were talking about how people weren't getting mad at anybody else taking care of each other? And we've got people mad at people and mad at people. Like it's all of a sudden a tale of a couple different races.
Absolutely. See, good battle here with the 68 and the 20.
Yeah, we saw them make a little contact at the top of the hill. There's Scott Crump. We saw him spinning. One thing that happened in all of that is Stanley made his way through to second. But Gavin is pretty quick.
Contact Chad and Eidson!
Yep, and they are good. Rolling again. Oh, I believe that was on Chad as well.
And he took responsibility for it.
Right away, too. Oh, it just continued.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Chad's race has fallen apart here.
It sure has.
And not all his doing, but he has to take credit for what just happened there.
I've seen that happen to him.
Yeah.
Man, I have seen Chad really be fast in some of those IndyCar races, and then at the end of the race, all of a sudden he's laps down and got a wrecked race car.
Yeah, Chad just seems to be a lightning rod for incidents, regardless of if he's responsible for them or not.
And he's not always responsible for, like, the first incident in this race. Oh, we got a spinner down here.
Oh,
It's Jacob Adams.
He's turning around.
Oh, that's going to happen. That 71's involved. They made nose-to-nose contact. Oh, my. That is not ideal right there. Ooh, The 68 got into his left rear. 71 hits him head on.
Yeah,
that's what we talked about. These guys that flip the stage, they're going to fall back, but you can't just drive through them.
Yeah, just a strange move from Kunin, because he puts his nose in right at the turn-in point, and the corner's coming up. You know the other car's going to be turning in, so it doesn't make sense sticking your nose right there in the vortex of danger, as it's called, and have exactly what happened happen.
Yeah, and I think a little bit of that was Thomas feeling the pressure from the 20. We had just documented that battle between him and the 20. The 20 had been trying to pass him. And instead of conceding the one spot, Thomas was choosing to run him hard and race him. And I believe we talked about Thomas doing that at Darlington as well, where he kept finding himself getting ran into the wall by trying to race people. And so, sometimes I think as a driver, you're better to concede the one spot than to create an issue for yourself or other drivers. Maybe a little bit more racecraft out of that. Like, you're not going to hold off the 20. He ran you down. He was faster. The 20's gotten by. Now the 68's got a line of cars behind him. And if he would have had a little bit more of a gap if he'd have let that 20 go when the 20 first got to him.
And plus, all he really needed to do was wait maybe like a split second later, and then he would have had an opportunity to try to stick the nose in there and make it pass. Obviously, it wouldn't have been as effective, because then he would have been on the outside for turn 2. But, there's a higher percentage of that working out well than the move he did elect to do there. So, John Cutlet, big sideways. He's going into turn 3.
Oh, we're taking a look at this contact again. And that's something, Thomas dealt with at Darlington, where he didn't want to, really concede anything. And then tonight, there's just not a proper move. That car's already turning in. It's pretty well just a little tiny lift for that corner, and you're going to have to race with these guys. I get that it's a road course and you're not having a great night and you're wanting to fight for every spot, but you're going to see that guy again next week when we get back to an oval, or, you know what I mean? You guys are going to race together some more, and those guys are going to choose how they race you based on how you race them. And I don't think there's anybody out here who has very, very much enjoyed racing around Thomas Kunin. And that's not me saying that. I'm just saying from what has been said to him in the lobby and what I've heard from the drivers is that some people have told me that he might be harder to pass than me, and I know I can be a nuisance on the racetrack when it comes to getting past.
Yeah, and the even worse thing about it is he barely had the very tip of the nose in there. I don't even think it was halfway past, the rear quarter panel, let alone up to the rear axle where it would have been a little more acceptable. And there's not even a chance that Adams would have gotten a spotter call from iRacing through that, because the spotters on the sim are a bit finicky when it comes to that. So it just, yeah, at this point, I really don't think there's much more we can add to it at this point. Just one of those moves, and now we move on. Meanwhile, Reynolds knocking on the door of the top 5 already.
Yeah, but without a yellow, he's not going to get there, I don't believe. Gavin Hibbs is still leading this race, but Stanley is closing him down, picked up about 3/10 of that lap. They've got a 5-second gap to Fody. RC is 4th, but Seth Rawls is still holding on there in 5th as a guy that flipped the stage. You mentioned Blake right there. He is, and this is going to be about 10 seconds behind the leader at this point. Cutlip holding on there after he flipped the strategy.
Wilkinson got sideways off of turn 2.
And Seth has made it pretty difficult here on Blake. He has not just rolled over and let him go. Blake has had to follow him around. And Seth gets a good drive off at the top of the hill as well. It would take a big dive here, and now you've basically followed him for a whole lap when you get back to turn 11.
And look at this. Look at the line of cars behind. All aboard the Rawls train. Choo-choo!
Yeah, and you see Chad, he's closing back in on some of these guys after his issues. Wonder if he's still thinking about coming back to pit road. Oh, and Blake's got the run now. He's going to dive down here in turn 11. He's got the position. Ooh, he misses the corner just a little bit, so that's going to hurt him. So we were talking about last time by, Blake was 9.1 seconds, but Chad's around again.
Oh, he went around. Oh, no.
Oh, Chad got loose. He was ready to blame somebody else, but I think Chad tried to go and he got sideways. I don't know what he really wanted the car behind him to do there.
Yeah, and when he's off the lane, off the apex, 2.5 lanes, and then he immediately cuts back down.
That's sideways. He's spinning whether that guy hits him or not, I think.
Yeah, and this is the inverse of the Kunin incident. When you're that far out, you have to know that the car behind is going to attempt to fill that space. So you have to keep that in mind, and you can't just close down, because what are you expecting the car behind to do? Slow up and cut your brake and, oh, looks like you made a mistake there, bud. Go ahead and take it back. Take the spot back. It's all okay. Yeah, that's not exactly reasonable there. So,
well, I understand what Chad was doing, trying to move up, get the drive off, kind of like a Martinsville deal where you would diamond the corner if you got to somebody, try to get that run off. But when Chad went back to the throttle, he pitched himself sideways and slowed up all of his momentum. There was just nothing for the car behind him to do. If Chad does that and he doesn't get sideways, then everybody's fine. That car's not going to be there. But Chad had a big moment there, and like I said, I think without the contact, Chad is likely spinning out right there. As we see, the lead has changed. Ethan Stanley got to Gavin, past Gavin, and we've got 30 to go, and we'll see what these guys can do in fuel. And here comes RC underneath Tyler Fody. Lost a lot of time there on that restart, and he's going to be stuck behind him again. RC chose to race him through there. Fody chose to race RC through there.
Yeah, this is agonizing for RC, because you see, you can't make any moves here, so you're just stuck riding behind the car you're trying to pass for about a quarter of a lap, but it feels like the whole lap with how long it is.
And RC, no big move there. You see, see how he moved up to do that little bit of a diamond? He didn't get sideways, but he didn't get the throttle down like he wanted to either. Just trying to draw alongside the 40 there, coming out of 11, and couldn't quite do it. Now he's going to go to work again. He's going to have an opportunity into turn 3 if he can get the run. Doesn't quite have it, so he's going to have to follow him through 3. Now they head down. He's lost time through there, so now he's not got an opportunity here. A break even there, so he's just stuck. He had that one opportunity to make a big move, couldn't pull it off, couldn't finish the job, and now RC's stuck.
Yeah. Meanwhile, you see Cutlip trying to get by Seth, and he's gonna hold on. Shuts the door on the 5.
And they're both on that strategy of pitting before the caution, so they've got a little bit less fuel on board. I think everybody needed a caution to make it to the end, and I just don't think they're going to get it. Oh, Josh Adams.
And
I think it's raining down there. We just can't see it.
ha! Rain here. You're funny. Although, with that said, there was one time back in the 2013 race where it did start drizzling a little bit, and I'm just standing there feeling the raindrops hit my head like, what is happening? Is the end times upon us? How is it raining here in June? We hardly even get rain here in May.
It's that cloud seeding, right?
Yeah.
Ain't that the new thing everybody's talking about? They're doing some cloud seeding, and it's causing floods and everything.
I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, but you know what? You'll go look it up after this race, and you'll see what I'm talking about. There's all kinds of theories out there. But we're back looking at Thomas, and I've seen Scott put the bumper to him a couple times, and he hasn't turned him. But Scott is getting frustrated. Scott has already spun out once this race, and I believe he blamed it on somebody else, or it might have been somebody else's. Oh, behind him. I think that's is that the Buffalo Wild Wings car? He's had a rough go of it. We've seen him out of shape. Now he's been in the wall. There's Tate making the pass on Tooker.
Yeah, and you see Cutlip up ahead trying to go for 4 in a row, but as all of us even kind of surmise, even he himself, bit difficult with that 91 in the field. John, about 13 seconds back from 4 in a row.
I gotta tell you, every time they go through turn 11, oh, and here's RC with another look. He's finally gotten close enough to take another opportunity. Can't do it again.
Man.
So it took him, 3 laps to get back alongside the 40 and whatnot. So now, likely 3 laps from trying again, but he's pretty close here coming down the S's. Putting a lot on turn 10. He's got to get a good run through 10. Fody stretches it out just a little bit, and it's not there for RC. And at this point, RC's got to be getting... Oh, Higgins, I think, just had an issue up at the top of the hill.
See, going into turn 3, and...
It was Thomas Coonan trying to protect against Scott Crump. Like, he trying to defend again and runs in. That is the second time we've seen Thomas get into somebody trying to defend at the same time. Like, he didn't want Scott to pass him, and Gavin pays the price.
I've seen this one before.
3 cars in a width that's barely big enough for 2.
And poor Norgard, innocent bystander, gets into the Park 20 car.
Yeah, that's just one of those things where you can't. You just got to concede. You got to have a little better racecraft than that. You got to make smarter decisions as a driver on when somebody's got the run on. You can't just blast into the next corner and hit the guy in front of you. And I just, I don't want to be too hard on a guy, but this is the second week in a row we have seen him make a bunch of mistakes just trying to race other guys instead of just trying to race the track and maybe
Megan's-
conceding a spot or two.
Meanwhile, RC has had enough. Fed Tyler a little bit of the left rear in this case, and now he's got the position.
Yeah, but is Tyler going to give it back? I don't think so. I think Tyler realized he was faster. And you're not as mad when you get moved out of the way and you just lose that one spot. If Fody would have went backwards right there, then he probably would have been a little bit more upset.
Yeah, plus there's definitely times where you're holding up the guy and he's getting frustrated, and then he moves you, and you're like, yeah, I understand. I knew that was coming. Because, you probably would have done the same thing if the roles were reversed. And it's like, yeah, I was holding him up a lot, so it's understandable. Have a nice day.
Yeah, you can only defend so much, especially if RC thinks he's got a shot to win the race, and he probably waited too long. I don't think you're going to run down Stanley from this far.
Yeah, I think he did have an opportunity to win this race. Emphasis on the did at this point with almost 7 seconds. Unless we do get that fabled caution.
I'm going to tell you what, Thomas Coonan just chose to race the 24, and he's lucky the 24 lifted a little bit when they started the S's, because he turned in and said, "You're not going to be there, are you?" And Michael lifted for him.
Yeah, and we all know Michael Hasek is an aggressive one himself, so say definitely playing with minds there if you're racing Michael Hasek hard.
I think the Chad cam might have to become the Thomas cam, as much as we've talked about him the last couple weeks. I don't know. Chad's gave us a few good things tonight. So, and tell you what, there was just contact between the 5 and the 56 there. Everybody continues on. Oh, they all missed the corner. It looked like the 56 was trying to outbreak the 5, missed the corner, and the 19 missed the corner. I tell you, Seth has hung on pretty good here. I'm not sure where he was running before. Probably about in this area. So it's really net, not positive, not negative, just kind of there where he was.
Yeah,
for some reason I was thinking he was a little further back, like 15th or 20th when he made that decision, but I think he was closer than that.
Yeah, it's still a good run for him so far.
And here comes the 56 with a move underneath the 5. John's got to give him the room, but John's going to get to drive off. Not going to be able to make a pass right there is Tate Lytle. Tate hitting those curbs very aggressively. And he's got David Tooker all over the back of him. Ooh, Tooker's going to have a shot here in turn 11. Tate defends. Tooker pulls up to the outside. And Seth is coming down pit road. He commits to this 2-stop strategy. You know what he sees everywhere now? Seth is seeing debris all over this racetrack. There's a whole car out here just roaming around this racetrack right now. And here's Blake. He has found Tyler Fody.
Yeah, Blake definitely one of the fastest on track right now.
We'll have to see how Jake, right in front of them, the lapper we saw get spun turned, go nose to nose with Dusty Dewar. They're going to catch him through these S's, and there's really nowhere for Jake to go to get out of the way. So they kind of gotta follow him until right here as this corner releases. They might be able to look to his right.
Oh, Blake looking to make it side by side. Oh,
Blake
he's looking
played
for the
that perfect.
crossover in turn 10. That is sneaky. Oh my goodness. That is some top tier race.
And there's
by
Gavin.
Blake
They
Reynolds.
passed Gavin on pit road, who was still out there. So now the question becomes, what can these guys do? Oh, Blake turned in there and nearly contact if there wasn't contact.
Oh, Tyler got the curb there. It's going to cost him some speed. You really don't want to hit the curb there in 3 and 3A. It just upsets the car too much. And sure enough, Blake is starting to run off into the distance.
Oh, Josh Adams, not good if we're watching you again.
Oh, no. Same exact spot, same exact way.
Getting really good at it.
360 no scope.
I'll tell you, he might be getting good at it, but I bet he's getting more and more frustrated every time that happens. Chad
Yeah, off pit
Princefield.
road.
That
Yeah,
did
coming
25
off.
seconds of damage. Alley.
Oh, Tate Lytle's got a shot down here at Cutlip. Cutlip's going to go ahead and come into pit road.
Tucker's
Tucker's going to come with him. And this is a hard pit road to maximize your entry because pit speed does not start until you come around that corner.
Yeah, and so you're having to figure out when to hit the brakes for the pit speed while carrying as much speed as you can, while making sure you're not carrying too much speed and just completely send it into the wall. You know, that's what's scary about this pit road, is that it's so narrow, as you see. It's not for the faint of heart if you're claustrophobic.
A lot of people will make the mistake getting into pit road here. It's very similar to the way you get off of pit road on the Daytona road course, where you see a lot of guys in real life run off into that wall a little bit because there's really no pit speed there. I think actually at Daytona they might have went in and put a pit speed there until you get through that S section coming off of pit road, but there
Correct.
didn't used to be. And you would see guys go into that corner, leaving pit road on cold tires, and just run right up into that fence a little bit. And it's kind of the same thing here in turn 11. Getting into pit road, you're getting down into that pit road. You can run through there pretty hard. A lot of guys trying to maximize will run out and hit the wall.
Oh, Cale Pocock off into the inside wall, exit of 3A.
And we've got more pit stops. I feel like when it comes to these guys spinning out, we keep talking about the same guys over and over again.
Yeah, that's the thing about road courses. Oh,
Oh, the 20's around backwards coming out of turn 11.
he sure is. Oh, he.
Oh. Tell you what, that was almost bad.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
No, not this guy again.
No. Wait.
Oh, man. Oh.
That was a little violent.
You know, I gotta be honest.
It's hard to tell from that view because I'm with you. I know what you're about to say. It's hard to tell. We got to see a different view.
Yeah, I can't say I put that one on Thomas this time. I think it's similar to the Chad one. You know, Gavin slips up in the center, and when you got a car right behind you, when you do that, you know they're going to try to fill the hole, so you just can't quite cut back down like there's no one there. I mean, Thomas is about maybe half a lane off from the wall, but
I
I
agree.
don't
We've
know.
been pretty hard on Thomas, but I think I agree. That one's probably more on the 20.
Yeah, honestly, I just say racing deal, if anything.
You know what that does? That just really hurt some of those. Like Seth was able to get around on the outside, but we just saw Cutlip and Tooker come off pit road, and you're trying to maximize on fresh tires. And if you watch this play forward, they got to stop right in behind the 68 to the 5 and the 19.
Yeah.
That is very important lap time that they lost right there. Here's Chad making another pass. Maybe, not quite, not clear. Tell you what, he did not cut him a break there, did he?
No, we didn't. But still, overall, nice and clean, and we're still going. No contact. So that's another one we've been hard on tonight, but, you know, gonna say, good move, Chad.
And he's going to get down here to turn 11 and make a pass on the 12. And this is all for about 15th or so, right in that neck of the woods. And Chad's another one that's on newer tires. Right now, the first guy on new tires, I believe, is going to be Gavin Hibbs all the way up in 6th. So that strategy is really working out great for him.
Yeah.
That strategy might get him second place.
Yeah, honestly.
Oh, who was that? Who was the Rick Ware car that was stopped in turn 10? Is that Jacob Adams? That is Jacob Adams.
Yeah. Yeah, he's still dealing with some
That looks like power
damage.
issues.
Got a meatball.
Oh, yeah.
Got a meatball.
He is crawling to pit road. Very, very slow crawl to pit road without power. And we're back to live, and he's still crawling to pit road. The commitment that he's going to get back here, and they're going to be able to fix it.
I think I can. I think I can. I think I can.
Oh, I think he's going to pull. Since he's off the course, I think he might pull over and tow.
He's still going. I think even though he's strapped in, he's probably leaning forward like, come on, come on. Nope, now he finally tows.
Yep.
A shorter toe.
There's race leader Ethan Stanley. Has a sizable margin of lead.
He always has to style on everyone on the road courses, doesn't he? He always has to show off.
Now, I will say, if he's going to show off, he's going to make it without pitting. He's going to say, look at all the fuel I was able to save leading this race, pulling away.
Yeah, we mentioned before the show, I was talking to a driver during qualifying. He said it's savable from the start of stage 2, if you're really conservative with it, to the end of the race, and obviously that will reap some rewards. We saw that the truck race at Portland, a lot of drivers, Tom McIntosh, Leighton Norgard, did profit massively from being able to actually save all of that fuel, while everyone else around them had to pit around halfway through the stage or towards the end of the race. So that will pay big dividends if they're able to pull this off. I'm sure Ethan Stanley, he was one of them. He ended up winning that race by about a country mile, really. Having saved that much fuel himself. So I think knowing how good he was at fuel saving in that race, how good he is at fuel saving generally, I think he is probably, if anyone's going to do it, it'll be him.
But one thing of note is Gavin Hibbs has made that second stop, and he's only 6th. So he's going to get to probably run back to at least 5th, will Gavin, We'll have to see what kind of pace he's got over these guys on a little bit fresher tires. We've got Seth Rawls up to 11th, and he's made a second stop. So there, it kind of depends. You heard William talk about some guys think they can make it, some guys are going to try. It just depends on the kind of night you're having and the race that you're trying to run, on if you're going to make it to the end on one stop and try to save it, or if you're going to try to two-stop it. And I think Gavin recognized early on he wasn't going to beat Ethan, so he chose to two-stop it. And that's probably, like we've talked about, going to give him a shot to race for second or third up in there if these guys have to save a little bit harder.
Yeah, it's definitely, I think, Gavin Hibbs recognizing that he's probably not going to beat Ethan Stanley. I think at this point, you look at the scoreboard, you look at the laps to go, you look at the name at the top of the scoreboard, you're thinking, yeah, this is done deal. Obviously, anything can happen. Back markers, traffic, human error. Even though Stanley sometimes isn't human on these road courses, he can.
Well, William, I think you were there. Was it last season or the season before? He had a 40-some second lead at Watkins Glen with 2 to go, and he lagged out. So
yeah, anything can happen. Yeah, even when you have a big lead at a road course, I have learnt that lesson the hard way as well. It's never over until you cross that finish line. Even when it looks all said and done, you're leading by ridiculous margins. Let's say human error, internet, anything, traffic. Like I say, he could run out of fuel. He might just not be able to save enough, and that's where Hibbs and the like that are all making this two-stopper, they could come into play because they're just doing something different. If you do the same thing as the guy that's leading, you're guaranteed to finish behind him. Do something different, you might have a chance. So,
yes, sir.
You know what I want to talk about here? Go ahead and finish your thought there, James.
As Larry Mack always says, if you follow the leader, you're going to follow the leader.
Exactly.
We can talk about the incidents that these guys have had tonight, too. We have have one car with 19 incidents. Any guesses on who that car is out here tonight, boys?
68.
Gavin
Thomas.
Higgins?
It is the 68. It is. He has 19.
How many does Gavin have?
Jaden's got 15. Gavin is sitting third on the list with 14.
Yeah, okay.
About the 15.
I know those two have had 2 separate run-ins tonight, the 20 and the 68. They're not happy with each other. So, yeah, I'm not surprised they had the list.
We've got a tie right behind them between Chad Frankenfield and Josh Adams for 13. Now, we know Chad's made contact with other cars, but I think all of Josh Adams' incidents, the 3 cars sitting on a curb.
Oh, no.
Oh.
I guess he's waving as they go by.
Caution, caution, caution. No! Sag.
But we know Chad's made contact with other cars out here tonight, but I think all of Josh Adams' incidents are from spins over there out of turn 11.
He could have towed from where he was before.
Meanwhile, we have 2 cars who have 0 incidents tonight. Any guesses on who those might be?
0 incidents, you said?
Yeah.
This could be a big chunk.
Ethan Stanley and...
Oh, that's a tough hit. It is Ethan Stanley and Tyler Fody.
I wasn't sure if Fody got any incidents from the contact from RC in turn 11. Otherwise, I would have said him.
So if we're gonna highlight some of the bad with the most incidents, we got to talk about the guys who are somehow able to run around this racetrack without getting any incidents as we approach 10 laps to go. I think we're gonna be seeing, I don't know, what is it, this time or next time? I don't know who I'm looking at as a lap car or not. I think next time. No, this time. This time for Stanley. He's such a big lead, it's hard to tell where everybody is on track. I see their little lap marker at the bottom, but it's, unless I'm looking right at Stanley.
We tend to go this time by then for Ethan Stanley, and he's got 14 seconds behind him, 20 seconds back to Blake Reynolds, neither of whom really I think, pose much of a chance at catching him. I don't know if Stanley at this point necessarily is the fastest car on track. He's on older tyres than the guys who have taken that second stop, the likes of Gavin Hibbs, but I don't think he has to worry about that. He's faster than those immediately behind him, and he has got enough of a cushion. He can just take it easy, minimize the errors you're seeing. He is just hitting every mark absolutely perfectly, not going way out wide on the curbs, trying to extract every millisecond. He's just hitting the apex, getting the car slowed down, smooth on the exit and a wheel spin, and he's having a nice Monday drive out there.
Yeah, Stanley's got such a lead, he can run like a second and a half slower than RC every lap for the rest of the race, and he'll still win the race.
Yeah. Still
maybe not quite a second and a half, but at least a second.
Definitely over a second or more. He is in dreamland, but I think this is becoming the sore reality for a lot of us that we have our work cut out for us if we're even going to finish in the same postcode as Ethan Stanley on these road courses. He's just a different beast.
Yeah, just a lovely drive through the wine countryside.
This is the sort of thing you'd see like if you were watching F1 back in like 2020, 2021.
Oh, we got a spinner. It's Seth Rawls.
Seth Rawls around.
And he's back going forward.
Crump's involved.
Yeah, Crump's down there. Oh, Chad nearly gets into Crump. And we got Connor Thompson, looks like, up here around.
Everything going on this lap.
Oh no, side by side. Oh, contact. Oh, Crump's going to hit that wall hard.
Oh, wow.
Ooh, was that Tooker? Was that Tooker that hit him?
That's two cars
went
on
by?
the racing service.
I'm amazed Scott's able to drive that car.
I swear it looked like he got hit by a black car that I thought was David Tooker after this. So little contact. He almost has it saved. Head on into that wall, which is not great.
And
it is not Tooker. But he missed him.
Yeah, it looks like Wilkinson just barely missed him.
I bet Brandon's got a little bit of something in his pants after that.
Whoa, and after that too. Risky rejoin, but it worked.
I think some of these guys are falling out of the seat. They're getting worked up. They've worked too hard.
Oh my goodness.
Jaden, Buffalo Wild Wings machine. Not ideal. They are trying to get William to pull this other flag out.
Yeah. So to go back to the Rawls Crump, that one, it's a weird incident itself because Scott's a lot more alongside than what Coonan was, so it's a good pass. But the problem is that Scott was a little bit off the wall, and at that point, it's hard for Seth to understand that Scott's going to be a little wider than what you would be anticipating, and that's where the contact.
Well, you know what I think happened? Seth made that second stop, and he was trying to pass Scott, and Scott was trying to stay beside him. It's one of those spots where we were both. I won't even put you in this, James. I was very hard on that 68 car earlier, and I'm going to say the same thing to Scott. You got to concede the spot when that guy's that far up there. Like he's on fresher tires. He got to you. He's making the pass. Like, I understand you don't want to give up spots late in the race, but if you'd have given up that one spot, no big deal. Now you've wrecked with him down there, and Scott's got the worst. Scott went head on into the wall. And where's he going to finish now? So it's just that racecraft kind of thing where it's like you're better off conceding that one spot than creating an issue by trying to race somebody who's on 25 lap fresher tires than you, and you're not going to keep him back there for 8 laps.
Yep. I'm still just amazed that he's still driving that thing, because like we've seen motors blow from a lot lighter contact, and he goes head on into the wall at that speed, and it's still ticking. Like Scott is incredibly lucky.
Oh, Josh Adams leaving turn 11 slow again. I don't know if he's letting people go or if he spun over there, but he just left turn 11 once again way down offline. I don't think he spun that time. I think he just pulled down there to check out the little area and look at his donuts that he left. I think he just wants to see the checker flag. He just wants to say, hey, I was out here when the checker flag fell.
Yeah.
Here's Tate Lytle. We haven't talked too much about him tonight. He's running in 5th. But he's got Gavin Hibbs coming up behind him on way fresher tires. And we know Gavin doesn't have to save fuel. We don't know how much fuel some of these guys still have to save. We are down to 16 cars left on the lead lap.
And 16 seconds is essentially also the gap from RC to Ethan.
And you see Gavin, he has hustle in that car. He's on fresher tires than everybody in front of him, but they're really not. I think he would get out of the car and tell you those aren't fresh anymore. They've got 10 or 15 laps on them. It's not like fresh tires, but it's better than what everybody else has.
Yeah, and I think we're going to be seeing a battle here for P5 within the next...
Oh, the 30's around, and he's in the wall. And now he's curb hopping. There's the O'Reilly Auto Parts sign. Painted into the racetrack.
O'Reilly's!
Oh, I think Joe got him there just a little bit. Oh, the 30's going to hit the curb, get out of shape a little bit, have to lift. Joe's going to make a big maneuver. Now, I don't know if that was frustration or if the 30 was trying to move over to let him go and the 55 was trying to move over and make a pass. That's one. It looks like the 30 was going to let him go, but the 55 already had such a run, he was going to pass him. It looked like they both zigged when one of them should have zagged. Almost. Joe's not a guy that I don't think I've ever heard Joe running over somebody out of frustration or anything like that. So,
yeah, I think this might have been one of the, those awkward incidents that we've all had where you try to get out of someone's way and the other person tries to do the same. So you end up just kind of slaloming back in each other's way. I think that was probably what happened there. I think the internet refers to it as a Canadian standoff. Oh, you go this way. Oh, no. You go this way. Oh, nope. Oh, sorry. Let me get out of your way. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, unless I hear Joe come over and say, no, I meant to do that. Joe's the guy that I feel like has earned the benefit of the doubt as far as the way that looked and what happened. There's some guys you might immediately say you just wrecked him, but Joe's been around Elite for a long, long time, and I don't remember anybody ever getting mad at Joe. So,
yeah. Plus, Joe said sorry about that to begin with.
I think it was just a miscommunication between the pair of them. It's like Connor was trying to do the thing of pulling over off someone and lowering it down a bit because he dropped a few miles an hour before the contact, and obviously they're only halfway down the straight. So I think...
Oh, Chad's into the back of the 26 in turn 11.
Oh.
He tried to make a big dive. 26 tried to... Well, 26 did shut the door, and Chad chose to get down in there. I'm surprised that one of those two cars did not wreck down there.
That's a
As
little
we take a
naughty
look
from
here,
Chad.
Gavin's going to get the shot to run for 5th here. Maybe more. Maybe some guys will run out of gas. We haven't really talked about that too much, but there is that opportunity here at this point in the race where we could see some of these guys who chose to one-stop it run out at some point. Tell you what, Gavin's flirting with disaster being not that close to the wall. We saw what happened to Jaden.
Brandon Wilkinson and Chad now coming back into turn 11 just a couple of moments here. I do wonder if we're going to see a repeat of a lap before. A little bit naughty, I would say, from Chad. Bumper run's obviously fair game, but I'm seeing, at least on my client, a dent in the back of that 26 now. And I do wonder, he's a lot closer this time, whether we are going to see another dive bomb.
Oh, that's
Another
very
shutting of the
defensive out of
door.
Brandon. Very defensive.
Here's the send.
Oh, Brandon's loose. And Chad just about gets it done with a big front right lockup. It doesn't end in tears. Chad's up a place. I thought that might have ended in some fireworks, but they survived.
You thought or you hoped? You were hoping for some contact?
Oh, I've had enough to do today. I really was hoping I wouldn't.
Well, here's Tate. Can he hold him off for a couple, 2.5 laps is what these guys have left right here. Less than 2.5, but Gavin's going to, I think, really have to try to get a good run into one of these brake zones, like out of turn 10 next time, or because Gavin beats him through the middle. Where do you make this pass, James or William? If you're Gavin, where do you try to lay it all out there?
Surely that's your best
Yeah.
shot.
It's got to be turn 7 or turn
Either
11.
that. Yeah, that's either that or at the end of the downhill here. He has to get a good run coming out of here, which he does, but so does Tate, so nothing's going to go for him this time. I think if Tate makes a mistake,
Tate missed that corner a little bit. Tate missed the middle. Tate missed it. He's going to defend.
Tate gets defensive. We might be side by side through the S's. Lock up. Nothing. Okay, you have to wait for turn 11. He's going to have to do it probably this time. Tate is going to make that Chevrolet as wide as he possibly can.
Tate's making mistakes, though. Tate missed that corner there a little bit.
Gavin's on pressure tyres as well. You remember we saw the lap time graphics a little while ago. 1.5 seconds difference between them at certain points here. Gavin just looks a lot cleaner on the exits of the corners, but again a mistake into the grass a little bit.
Oh, Tate
made it.
Oh,
Tate sliding
Gavin,
still.
He's still
right
can't
now.
manage.
Tate is
He's
making a lot of
right
mistakes
in.
here. Very uncharacteristic for Tate to be sliding around like this trying to defend.
Pressure and old tires, baby.
Now they got Scott Crump.
Here comes the
Gavin, a little bumper.
Crump now involved, trying to keep out of the way. He just about does so. No Lake Norman collusion there. Big bit of curb. But he's
Gavin's
there.
really trying hard. Stanley's coming through turn 11, but there's no race for the win. Stanley's going to get the job done. This is the biggest battle on track right now. Big defensive maneuver again from Tate.
Another little lockup out of Gavin. Tried to potentially get a shot, and this is his last opportunity. He has to get the best
Thomas
exit.
Coonan's around in turn 11. These guys are coming up on that area here. Well, I think Gavin did it to Thomas on purpose. I believe he just said that he did everyone a favor.
Angry.
Well, here we come for turn 11. Is he close enough to make that
Has
big
to give him a
dive?
shot. Has to give him a shot here if he wants it. Oh, I can't get there. A little tap, but not enough.
Little bump. Ethan Stanley's won the race. RC's going to finish second. Reynolds, Fody, and the battle for fifth goes to Tate with Gavin Hibbs in sixth. Tooker coming in behind him. Well, here's the contact. That was not Gavin Higgins.
Teammate Dominic Wright.
So he said his teammate did everyone a favor, I guess. As Tooker comes across the line to finish seventh. Ryan's going to finish eighth. Cutlip's coming to finish ninth. Chad Frankenfield, through all of his issues out here tonight, is going to get 10th. Wilkinson 11th. Here comes Paul. Paul's out of gas. Paul's running out of gas. So I think he lost that spot to Seth. So Seth finishes 12th. Paul runs out of gas, finishing 13th.
Bunch of letters to not have a bunch of fuel.
A bunch of fumes coming out of that car.
But nonetheless, we are going to get in a quick commercial break. When we come back, we will talk to our race winner and our other podium finishers. So stick with us. We will have Blake Reynolds when we return.
Champions, forged by the pressure of the countdown, will rise. It's where ambition meets asphalt, where some dreams are made and others go up in smoke. With only 4 races to go, the gateway to the West could be the way to win it all. This weekend, the Napa Auto Parts NHRA Midwest Nationals roar at Worldwide Technology Raceway. Get tickets today at WWTRaceway.com and be a part of the NHRA countdown to the championship this weekend. Numbers don't
Now let's hear
lie.
about Blue Egg Marketing.
He goes
Rev up your
364, 7, and
338.
338.
In our
Turbocharge
numbers,
your lead
they get
generation with experienced
insane.
drivers that can navigate the competitive track to connecting with your customers. With Blue Egg, you're always in the pole position, leading your brand toward victory lane. Don't spin your wheels, accelerate success with Blue Egg, fueling small businesses to win big.
Numbers don't lie.
He goes 364, 7, and 338.
In our numbers, they get insane.
341.
And then this happens.
343 miles an hour. Holy Christmas.
This isn't a game. This is racing at its extremes. See for yourself at the Napa Auto Parts NHRA Midwest Nationals at Worldwide Technology Raceway this weekend. Get tickets at WWTRaceway.com.
And welcome back to Sonoma, where I believe William White, our race control, is going to be standing by with 3rd place.
Absolutely. Blake, you got a copy, my friend?
Yes, sir.
Well, 36 to 3rd, definitely something of an eventful night for you. 29 seconds off the lead definitely doesn't tell the whole story, coming back up 33 positions. Just analyze your night overall for us.
Yeah, for some reason this series starts an hour earlier, and I'm literally getting home from work midway through qualifying. So that's the reason in Xfinity here, I pretty much, I think Bristol I also didn't put down a lap. It's unfortunate timing in the central time zone. So, I just kind of picked my way through in that first stage. I think I got up to 12th, and then pitted, of course, and then it turned into a fuel race. And I didn't realize till halfway through the stint, I was planning to pit, but then I realized I might be able to make it. So I went from I was tacking out everywhere. I was abusing the fuel, and I was like, uh-oh. And I noticed RC and Stanley, they didn't have to save that hard, but I had to go from 0.52 gallons a lap to 0.40. Extreme cut. The one thing I didn't do was turn off the car. I just coasted up every hill and used, I think I was 40% throttle maximum there at the end. And luckily this track, you don't really go full throttle anywhere, not really. So it's a good tactic to save fuel and tires in general. At the end, I know I had a lot more pace. It just I had to save fuel way harder, and Stanley in the waiting room just told me he had 2 laps extra, and I ran out crossing the line, if that says anything. So, pretty crazy. I was originally 3 laps short, so I ended up saving that in the last 20 laps. Just shout out Drink Machine Works, cool car from JD Designs, John Cutlett, and fun night, like Sonoma.
Absolutely. Just quickly, I'm curious because obviously you're getting home from work halfway through qualifying. I don't know how much prep you're getting in through the week. Obviously, you're an ex-Coke driver. You probably know what you're doing. But, having not potentially a lot of prep, I'm certainly not in the hour-long practice preceding the race. How is what is the prep like? What's the kind of mindset going into these races? Is it just take it as it comes, or are we still kind of expecting those top results?
I'm expecting to run well. Not win, but run well. I didn't run any laps. My first time loading this new I didn't even realize it was new Sonoma. I loaded in halfway through qualifying, that for some reason you cut my lap short by 2 minutes. So I'm not really sure what the rules are around here on the road courses, because it happened at Watkins Glen too. So
yeah, they set the thing wrong. It's meant to be 8 minutes, and it was set at 10 minutes. So I had to
Amazing.
cut the thing. Yeah,
amazing. I didn't know that. So yeah, it's like I didn't run a lap. I did about a lap and a half, I think.
Yeah.
And yeah, so unfortunately, I don't know what set's gonna be, so I don't really practice. I kind of just show up. But I do expect to run well. To answer your question, I expect to run top 10, top 5. Luckily in Cup, I can practice a little bit more, and the field's a little tougher in there. So it's always fun to race like RC and Stanley and Fody and Gavin and all the guys that are gonna road in here. And it's nice to race a car with horsepower and wheel spin.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, we mentioned Drink Machine Works in that first question. So any other shout-out sponsors, partners you want to thank for another podium for Car 86?
Yeah, Channel 199 Sim Racing, Racecraft, Track Racer, Simulation, of course. You guys for broadcasting this. I'm sure it was a good watch, and Chad and the guys for putting the league on.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much for your time, Blake, and good luck the rest of the season. Hopefully we'll see you a few more times in here.
Thank you. See y'all.
Well, I believe James is with RC at this point.
Yes, sir. RC, James in the booth. You got a copy?
Yep, I got you guys.
All right. Well, great run tonight. You were able to keep Stanley honest for a good chunk of the race. Take us through the first part of the race with you, and just trying to stay even with him up until the stage caution.
Yeah, I mean, man, he's gotten so quick. It's just I feel like we can get really close to each other on lap 1 to lap 5 on fresher tires, but he was just doing a much better job at conserving tires than I was. Yeah, so once we get past lap 5 or so on tires, it became more of a struggle, brake zones and stuff like that, where I think he was able to control the race with being in front. But yeah, overall, I'm pretty happy with it.
Yeah, it's like took you a minute to get up through the traffic. You were battling with Fody there specifically for a good chunk of the race, but it was fun to watch. What was it like from your point of view?
It was really fun. I mean, we did that restart, and I think John and all them had wheel spin on the front row, so everybody checked up big, and it just made everything all bottled up going up into 1 or 2. I got to the inside on the exit of turn 2 with Adams, but I thought just Stanley was out there, so he was going to be clear. I did not know Fody was also down there, so we were 3 wide going in there. Just clipped the edge with everything funneling down. Had to cut the track through there, give up some time, but yeah, just pick them off one by one. Man, it's tough to pass here, and it's just especially if you're close on pace with somebody. And Fody's a really quick driver and really good at handling pressure. But yeah, I had a few goes at him, but on that last one, I just got a little bit of wheel hop on the brakes and gave him a little door. But with a track that's tough to pass, you kind of have to push around a little bit. But no, it was really good, really fun, really good race.
Yeah, and when you did finally got by and you had that clean track, did you think there might have been any hope of catching him, or were you on full, come on, bring me a caution?
I think a caution would have helped a bit, because I think we were all kind of in the same boat. It was who could save fuel and keep the pace down. I even asked Ethan right there in the waiting room. I was like, he was just super quick and also able to save fuel like that. So yeah, maybe next time we'll get a track or at least a distance race that we're not having to save fuel all in one tank. We can have some freedom to pit, undercut, overcut, and see what if we can make it a little more exciting.
Alrighty, well, it was still a great run for you tonight. Any sponsors, plugs, and shout outs you want to give?
Yeah, of course, you guys up here in the booth, you guys do an awesome job up here. Chad, who runs the league, he handles a bunch of us, even though we're not all easy to handle. And it gives us a place to come race at night. And then I got Lucas Oil School of Racing. They're on every single one of my cars. And I think that's it.
All righty. Well, we appreciate you, RC, and hopefully we're talking to you again next week.
Sounds good, guys. I'll see you guys on Wednesday.
Well, boys, I am down here in Victory Lane. I think they already had the trophy engraved with his name on it before we ever took the green tonight. But Ethan Stanley, Ethan, talk to us about the night. And if you had any kind of issues out there and how you managed to save fuel, I hear that you had a little bit more fuel than everybody else had in the tank. So is that car going to pass inspection?
Hopefully. Yeah, the whole race, I was just kind of, well, that first stint, I was trying to figure out if I could make it, just kind of lifting early. Just wanted to get the fuel number on the car so I could figure out if I had enough for the final run. Then, yeah, just kind of had to push a little bit harder at the start of the second run just to kind of get the lead and then just kind of build a little bit of a gap. But yeah, it's just all saved the whole time pretty much. If you save more fuel around here, you also save more tire, which helps. It helps you in the long run. Was able to really save the rear tires, which are really wearing tonight.
Was there ever a doubt you were going to one-stop this thing, or did you think you were going to two-stop it and then ultimately decide to one-stop it?
There was doubt at the start, but once we got that stage yellow, I kind of decided there that I was gonna make the one stop work.
And did you have any fear at the end of running out of gas? How hard were you able to save?
I had no fear. I had 2.5 laps left when I crossed the line.
Well, all right, Ethan, real quick before we let you jump out of here and celebrate. First of all, when are we going to see you again? And are there any sponsors or shout-outs?
I should be here next week. I plan on running the full distance Charlotte race that we have. And then probably Dega as well for the season finale, regular season finale. Big shout out to Blue Egg Marketing, a longtime sponsor with them, many wins. Big shout out to Lake Norman. We had Tate, Fody, and Crump tonight. Top 5 for 2 of those. And then just big shout out to JD Designs painting all my cars throughout the week. Big shout out to you guys up in the booth. Always love watching all these races back. And big shout out to Chad and Will and all the admins that run this stuff.
Well, all right, Ethan, congrats on the win. Can't wait to see you next week for the full distance race from Charlotte, and look forward after that, I guess, to seeing you again at Talladega. But congrats on the win, and we'll see you next week.
See you around.
Well, James, William, Dave, we had a caution-free race for the most part. We had that stage break up there and a couple different strategies that played out. We had some guys stop twice, some guys just stopped the once. But nonetheless, we had a great race, some fierce battles, some hot tempers, some stuff that might carry over to Charlotte. Are there any final thoughts from you guys before we wrap this thing up?
No, it was a pretty good race from the motherland here. We saw a lot of good battles, saw a lot of incidents, and that had a lot of debate with them. So yeah, it was still a lot of fun to broadcast, and even though Stanley did Stanley things, we still got a lot to watch and commentate on.
Yeah, definitely. I think from a race control perspective, they definitely kept me busy. The one tally that I gave on that 20, that's definitely deceiving. I think I looked at about 10 different crashes, at least, for that entire race. People just like lazily running into each other, and I have to look at it to see if they got severe damage or whatever. So lots of cleaning up to happen, I think, before the next race, because I don't want to be spending the entire time in replay mode. I want to actually be able to watch the race.
Visually speaking, I think the new rescan, I thought the cars look great.
Yeah, it was a great race. I thought if we didn't have any cautions, it wouldn't be that exciting, but we had excitement all the way through with, whether it was the 68 or the 15 or the different strategies, or there's really no laws in the excitement tonight. So for a race that only had the one stage break there's a lot going on all through the race. And like you mentioned, the new scan looks great. Can't wait to see it on down the road and see how these guys adjust to it. And can't wait to see what next week in Charlotte brings us for a full distance race. It should be a lot of fun next week, boys. I guess it'll probably be 300 miles from Charlotte, another new scan. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to get there. I think that's going to do it for us. I want to give a shout out to everybody at ERN, Dave for all he does over here, Chad for all he does for the league as a whole. And of course, none of this happens without the sponsors. Mark does a great job. He was out there tonight. I don't think he was running at the end. I saw him on pit road, but I know he had a couple good opportunities for some pictures. So shout out to Mark and all he does. Everybody at Blue Egg, everybody at Worldwide Technology Raceway, all these guys for helping bring this broadcast live to you guys here on ERM. But that's going to do it from us, and we will see you next week at Charlotte.